What's up, Dorothy Jean?
Hey there, Miss Melody. How you doing?
How you doing, baby?
Mm.
What's going on?
Everything.
Come on, let's sit down.
Okay.
I'm so excited to do this with you.
Oh, I'm excited that you have me, Melody. I'm really excited.
I want to do this. I wanted to do this for some time. And then when I did the Michelle Obama interview, I said, you know what? That is God's way of telling me that I need to capture every black woman who has made an impact on the world in a special way. And I really want you to know that you have done that. And we forget oftentimes to tell people that. Tell people how much we appreciate them and how much they've done. And I just want to spend this time with you. I don't know what we'll do with it. I want to bring it to the world. But if not, I just want to tell your story because it's such a rich, rich story. And people don't realize this. You are like a sister to me. You're close to my family. And I think my ability to understand blackness and who I am and my role and what I am to contribute is in large part due to your example.
Well, thank you.
So I want people I know people know Dorothy Tillman. And
they think they know me.
They think they know your hat and all of that.
Yeah.
But to really get to know.
So you want to know what's up under the hat?
I want to know what's under the hat. I want to know who Dorothy Tillman is.
Okay.
So Dorothy, I know.
First, let me say Michelle Obama interview was awesome.
Oh, thank you.
It was great. I had all of my grandchildren to listen.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
That means a lot to me. They're going to listen to this one. And other people's grandchildren are going to listen to this.
Thank you.
Because you are part of history, part of our history.
Thank you.
And it's rare that God has blessed us with the ability to capture these moments, to capture these stories. And so I don't want it to be any doubt about what you did, who you were, why you did it, any of that.
Okay.
So let's spend some time today. I don't have a script. It's just
Okay.
me and you talking,
Well, we're
right?
gonna have a good time.
Yes. Dorothy, you were born in
Montgomery, Alabama.
Montgomery, Alabama.
And Dorothy Wright. So I'm Dorothy Wright Tillman.
Yes.
I was born to the great James Wright and Edna Mae Wright.
How many children in the family?
Well, it was just my brother and I, but my mother, later on after my father died, my mother had 3 more, so it's 5 of us
Wow.
on my mother's side.
Right.
And I'm the oldest daughter, so I'm like a mother to my young siblings.
Yes.
In fact, my young siblings, they are young enough to be my children.
Mm.
I have one that's a lawyer, one is in medicine.
Yes.
So
That's right.
And I
That's
have a
right.
brother who's retired. So
Did you go to school in Alabama?
I went to
Montgomery?
school in Alabama and in Pensacola.
Okay.
When my mother and father separated, we moved to Pensacola. So I went to school in both Montgomery and Pensacola, but I ended up my last year's school in Montgomery at the Booker T. Washington High School in Booker T. I mean, so I'm really an Alabama person. You know, Montgomery and Pensacola is so close together.
Yeah.
It's like one state. In fact, Wallace tried to buy Pensacola to annex to Alabama.
Governor Wallace?
Governor Wallace.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really interesting. We'll talk
That's
about
why
that
you
later.
go to Florida so often. You
I went
have
to
family.
Pensacola all the time. My sister's still there. My mother was there. She passed
Right.
recently. But I go to Florida. I have family there. I have classmates there. I also have friends and family. My basic families are in Montgomery.
Wow.
Mhm.
And so when did you move from Pensacola? How did you get north?
Well, let me say, I didn't come north from Pensacola. I came north from Alabama.
Okay.
What you need to see, Dr. King brought me to Chicago. I
Right.
advanced Dr. King to Chicago.
How did you meet him?
Well, it's really interesting. I met Dr. King when I was 9 years old. And I never ever thought that I would one day be part of his staff. I was that little girl, Melody, was always like, who, why, what, how. Because it was really interesting. I carried my granddaughters, the older one, you haven't met her, to Montgomery to show her the church and to show her how everything was. But see, growing up, I could never understand, Melody, why I could not sit on the front of the bus.
At 9 years old?
And but even before that, because see, in Montgomery, we would take the Day Street bus in Montgomery. And my grandmother, because you know, Mother ran everything when I was growing up. Because
Right.
my mother being a young mother, I was always with my grandmother. And so I was like her first granddaughter, so she carried me everywhere.
Yeah.
But every time we would go to the bus, and we would you would put your money in your nickel. You couldn't go in the front. You walked to the back. You know those 2 doors?
So you paid in the front, got off the bus, and came to the back.
Go to the back. So I could not ever understand that. I wanted to sit up in the front. I couldn't, and it was always why, how, why this. So I know my grandmother would press my hair, and some of the older people out there would understand. She would press my hair so hard that when the sun hit it, my scalp burned. She pressed it with that straightening comb.
That's right.
So, and she would make my clothes off the old single machine, and my skirts. I was always clean. That's why I love patent leather shoes. That's why I got some on today.
Yeah.
My patent leather shoes be shine from that biscuit, all that
Right.
lard in them biscuits. And I knew I was pretty. My face all greasy and shined up.
Right.
And I looked just as pretty and as good as little white girls.
Right.
And I could never understand why could they sit up in the front and it looked like it was having such a good time, and I had to sit in the back. I always felt bad about that.
Did you ask your parents?
Always. My grandmother.
Your grandmother.
I said, Mother, why? Why? She said, well, you just can't. So we would go to the back, and I always worried about that. And we would go downtown to Red Bells. I was just there a few months ago, so Red Bells is not there getting torn out. She would always pack us a lunch so that we would have to be humiliated going to the white restaurants to the back.